everyone. Welcome to the Zone to Speak podcast. I'm your host, Juliana. Hey everyone. At Zone to Speak, I know how important it is to stay healthy, strong, and ready for every ride, workout, and adventure. That's why I'm sharing some amazing discounts on products I personally love, designed to support your health, performance, and overall well-being, whether you are an athlete or just looking to feel your best. Cyclocross, their smart pump is a game changer, compact, efficient, and perfect for keeping your tires road and gravel ready. It's ideal for travel too. You can take it on trips and skip the CO2 canisters. You can even change your tire pressure on the go when switching between surfaces like road and gravel. Get 10% off the smart pump and 5% off everything else. 15% off enthusiast. Fuel your body with clean, plant-based nutrition. Their clean, lean protein provides a high-quality, easily digestible protein source with no additional additives, perfect for recovery and sustained energy. Plus, their Good Green Vitality is packed with essential vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants to support your immune system and overall wellness. 15% off Oleos. Oleos offers powerful wellness shots made with adaptogens, nootropics, and functional nutrients to support performance, focus, and recovery. I'll be using Oleos daily in the lead up to my next race, and I have already got my pre- and post-ride shots ready for my long weekend rides. If you are looking for a clean, effective boost, Oleos is it. Use code ZONE2SPEAK15 to save 15%. 20% off First Endurance. Top-tier endurance nutrition designed to support hydration, recovery, and sustained energy for long days on the bike and any endurance activity. 15% off Frey Skincare, made for active lifestyles. Designed for skin that sweats, their all-natural, vegan, and cruelty-free products keep your skin protected and fresh. I have been using Frey for about 10 years and my skin stays young and has never had a breakout since. 10% off Cold Aid, high-quality supplements to support your health, from multivitamins to probiotics, collagen, and more. I personally take the women's fermented multivitamin and creatine, and I genuinely feel great with them. No nausea, just steady energy and support for recovery and daily health. 10% off Clearly Not Coffee, a delicious coffee alternative from functional ingredients like mushrooms, cocoa, maca, cinnamon, and rhodiola, designed to give you calmer energy, sharper focus, and immune support. Honestly, I can't live without it anymore. It's been such a boost for my energy levels and has helped me navigate perimenopause with more balance and ease. 15% off Ombre Supplements, premium supplements to support your training, recovery, and everyday health. And there's something special from me, your host. As a certified integrative health and nutrition expert and holistic life coach, I'm offering 25% off personalized nutrition and life coaching with Genki Wellness. If you want to optimize your health, improve your energy, and feel your best, head to bemoregenki.com. For all discounts, check out the episode description, use code ZONE2SPEAK at checkout, and let these incredible products support your health and performance. Now, let's get into the episode. Welcome to Zone to Speak. Today, I'm excited to chat with Sophie de Boer, a former professional cyclist who dominated the cyclocross scene and made waves in road cycling. From winning World Cup events to riding for the prestigious Park Hotel Valkenburg team, Sophie's journey is one of grit, grace, and a true passion for cycling. In this episode, I explore Sophie's remarkable career, her transition from the competitive world of cycling to embracing motherhood, and how she continues to inspire others by promoting a healthy and active lifestyle. I will dive into her thoughts on the evolution of women's cycling, her own experiences navigating the challenges of professional sports, and what the future holds for her both on and off the bike. So Let's get rolling. Sophie, welcome to Zone to Speak.
Hello, nice. Thank you.
So good to see you. I met you at the migration race in Kenya a few years
Yes,
back.
yes. That wasn't my best experience on the bike, to be honest.
Yeah, I remember you were really sick,
Yeah, I
but
got,
then you go home and had some good news,
yes,
surprising
exactly.
news.
Yeah. That it was, yeah, it was quite a surprise. We found out I was pregnant, but that didn't have anything to do with the illness that was also there. I remember the first night I threw up and I was so ill, and the doctor, she came to me and she was like, "Are you pregnant?" And I was like, "No, hell no." Later I found out I was also pregnant. So yeah, that wasn't a very good experience, but it was nice that we met.
Yeah, absolutely. I made so many friendships in that race. I think I'm a big fan now of stage race because you get to hang out with the cyclists for a few days. It's
Yep.
a very bonding experience.
Yeah. I keep in my mind that I might need to go back sometimes to Kenya to do the race again and to experience it, because now I did not really race, but well, maybe in the future.
That's true. That's true. I would like to go back as well one day. Take me back to what drew you into cyclocross and how did you get started in professional cycling?
Um, Well, my dad, he was a cyclist. He was into racing on a mountain bike, and I first tried that. And even before that, I was into ice skating. I'm not sure if you are familiar with this, but in the Netherlands, ice skating, it's quite famous. It's like the sports that we do. But the same with ice skating as it was with mountain biking. These You have to be quite technical and to have some really technical skills for these kind of sports. And I don't know, it just didn't really suit me. So then I remember at around the age of 15, someone said to me, "You should try cyclocross." And it's quite different from mountain biking. It's still technical, but the skills are more like you need to corner or sand sections. You need to run with your bike, and it's not like mountain biking where you have these steep downhills and everything. And I don't know, it really suited me well, cyclocross. I remember one of my first races was the national championship for junior girls, and I was on the podium, and then I could join the national team, and it went, it was very convenient. It went well. It was for me the first time in sports that it just all worked out for me. And then yeah, year after year I improved, and yeah, I did a lot of races with the national team as well.
Amazing. Yeah. It feels good, when you actually excel at a sport and enjoy it and find yourself, and that's what I tell
Yeah.
a lot of people. Like you don't have to do cycling, just try different things. You find something
Yeah.
you like.
Yeah, and especially at a young age. If you would have seen me ice skating, you would have never thought that there would be some kind of talent in me, or that I would have like a skill for developing a good aerobic condition or whatever. No, and even with mountain biking, I was quite shy. It was all very new to me. Also, we had to do a lot of downhill training, and I don't know, it for me this was so far out of my comfort zone. So I'm happy that other people and also my parents pushed me a little bit into new directions, so to try new sports, to try new things. And that's how I found out that actually I was a good cyclist, but not on the mountain bike. And I also did some road racing, but also in the beginning I was a little bit afraid of racing in the peloton. And I don't know, cyclocross, it's an individual sport, and it really suited me. I'm not sure if if you say it
I
like
can see
that.
you smiling when you talk about it. And I was
Yeah,
going to ask, like, so road cycling came after.
Yes,
Because
I
you were in a
remember I was,
continental team.
sorry.
So you were on a continental racing team, right?
For the first, I think, 10 years of my cyclocross career, I've always been in cyclocross teams, mostly in Belgium teams. And I've also been part of, well, for a few years, I had my own team. I was working with some private sponsors, for instance, Rafa at that time. And I was working with Colnago, some really cool brands. And back then it was not very, nowadays it's more common that athletes work with private sponsors. Back then it was not really, but cyclocross, it's you don't need a team to participate in the races. It's nice, but it's not necessary. And I've always been an athlete. I like to do my own thing. I like to make my own program. I really like to do everything, yeah, on my own terms. So I was happy that I was also given the opportunity to race for myself. And then I ended my career with a road team where I did some more road racing as well as cyclocross.
Yeah. Would you have a preference between one or the other,
Yeah,
cyclocross or
definitely
road?
cyclocross. Yeah, I
Cyclocross.
was a much better cyclocross rider. It's always been my main goal, and I did road cycling just in preparation for. But I have to say, in the last years, when women's cycling, and then now I'm speaking about 2018, 19, 20, when road cycling for women, it was really um, becoming much bigger and more professional. I noticed that it was also much more difficult to do the road races just as a preparation. For instance, in 2013, I raced a Giro with the national team. And then it was very doable to do a Giro as a preparation. And then in 2019, I did it again. But the level in the race was completely different. And then I think racing on that kind of level was not necessarily the best preparation for me.
For the cyclocross, you
Yeah,
mean?
exactly.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, cyclocross, hats off. It's so intense. I love cycling, but that's something I know I'm not capable of. I mean, the the jumps, grabbing the
Mhm.
bike up the stairs, muddy sections, sandy sections. It's really intense, and usually goes
Yeah.
what 1 hour, but it's full on.
Yeah, no, it is always around 50 minutes even.
Okay.
The elite men, they race 1 hour, and the elite women, we used to race in between 40 to 50 minutes. So it's about like 6 laps, depends a little bit on the lap distance, but mostly it's around 5 to 6 laps. And yes, it is very intense, and that's what I loved about it. It's always every week we had a new different course, and the course was really it really depends on the weather how the course is, and even within the weekend it changes, within the hour it changes. So you also need a lot of skills, for instance, with what pressure in your tires are you going to race, with kind of tires you are going to race, and also a lot of anticipation on how you, well, what line are you going to ride. And a few weeks ago I was working for the Belgian television, and it was in Besançon. It was a World Cup, and I had to do the interviews. Sometimes I still do this, and it keeps me involved in the cycling world. And I had to interview Mathieu van der Poel, and it was after the race, and he won the race. And I asked him something like, "Well, how is it when you are so far in the front, just doing your laps?" And he was like, "Yeah." every lap you come at the same point, and then the course changed after one lap, and every time you think, okay, what is the best line, and then after riding the section you think, oh, I should have taken another line, I should have taken the corner a little bit different. And I don't know, this answer, it really, I could really visualize, yeah, that's exactly how cyclocross is. Every lap you think, okay, how am I going to do this? And then next lap it changed again, the course.
It changes because everybody else is passing by and the terrain is changing, I
Yeah,
guess. Okay,
exactly.
so
When
the
you
lines
have,
change,
yeah,
obviously.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. So it's quite it's also quite a technical sport as well.
Absolutely. I just love watching, and I'll keep it at that.
Mm. Yeah.
And what are some of the biggest obstacles that you faced, if you faced any, as a professional cyclist?
Oh, a lot. Oh, where to start? Well, when I started racing back in, oh my God, 2014? No, 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 2004. Oh my God,
Wow.
2004. 2005, yeah, 2006. So that was the age I started racing. I was about 15, 14, 15 years old. And then women's cycling, especially in the cyclocross world, it was not professional, not professional at all. There was not a lot of money in it. It was very difficult to become a professional cyclist. And for instance, during big races, then the elite men, they would race at around 2, but then the women's race would be at around 10 in the morning. So there would be no spectators. Was always very early. If you had to travel to a race, I had to wake up at 4 or 4:30. So during my career, there were a lot of changes. That the time of the race, it changed, and this might seem very little, but for us it was huge, because then all the spectators would also see our race. And this was a big change also, because now it was more easy to broadcast the race on television. So when that happened, a lot of people started watching the women's races, and then suddenly you have fans, you have people starting to follow you, and then that's when it starts to get interesting, to get some money in the sport. And so these two things these really changed the sport. So the obstacle for me was, when I started, there was not really the it was not really common to become a professional cyclist. So I did the combination with university. I went to university, but this was so difficult for me. I was living on my own in a student place, and I had to do these exams, and all the exams would always be at the same week as the World
Mm.
Championship was. And yeah, I remember it was just a lot to combine racing every weekend, to to also try to finish and to get my bachelor's degree. And I at that age, it was quite a lot for me.
Yeah, I was talking to Sonia Looney here on the podcast. She's a professional mountain biker, and she was talking about that as well. Because I was asking, how is it to be a professional, like, especially financially? And yeah, I think she shared a little bit like you, having to juggle studies and paying bills, trying to support yourself and show up to the races.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't have a driving license. And I remember, so in the Netherlands, we on Wednesday we have this training for cyclocross riders. It's organized by the Dutch team, and it was always a very good training. We would be trained by Gerben de Knecht, old professional, but also Richard Groenendaal, also former professional. And this training was this was like you really have to go there to become a better cyclocross rider. But this was about from where I lived 2 hours by train. But then, well, it was not even possible to get there by train, and I didn't have a driving license. So then I would go first. I would go by bike, then to a train station. Then I would be for 2 hours in the train, and then I would have to ride my bike for like 30 or 40 minutes. Then I would have to do the training, and then I would have to go back, get back home very late in the evening, tired and cold. And it was sometimes a little bit frustrating that the guys, they would have a car, or they would be more supported from the teams. So yeah, that was sometimes a little bit frustrating for me to see the big gap between women and men in sports. And well, I think now if you see a lot of the young girls, they don't even go to school anymore because they can sign a professional contract at a young age, and they totally deserve it. But it's very different from when I started racing.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's good that things are evolving and
Yeah.
women are getting more equality. I think there's still ways to go and improve. And I think you touched on something that is important because I guess men can get more money because they have more exposure. So people want
Yeah.
to see them more, they sells more.
Yeah.
So the women also need this support to get more exposure, to
Yeah.
have more of a following and more of a sales outlet. So everybody in the chain can make money and
Exactly.
make the fans and people that follow happy.
I think nowadays with social media, it's easier for yourself to create some kind of worth in what you can offer for brands. And I think also now, of what I see and what I experience with gravel, there are a lot of brands who don't necessarily want you to be racing at top level. They just want you to make some really cool, adventurous, inspiring content. But on the other hand, the what I experienced during my career when our races started being broadcasted on television, I remember there was this one particular race. I think it was in Leuven in 2015, I think. And this was a race just 1 week or 2 weeks before the World Championship, and I was in the race fighting for the win with Sanne Kant. And eventually this was a sprint, and it was quite exciting to see. And luckily I won the sprint. But this race was watched by over 1 million people because it was just
Wow.
before the World Championship. And I remember winning that race, also being in the fight, being in the front. The whole race was broadcasted. And then people are talking about it. People love to, they are moved by the race, they are inspired. And that's how you get fans, that's how people get to know you. And that is what, well, drives also the well then, well, the, how do you say it? The evolution of the sport for women. So that's what I really noticed, broadcasting it live on television.
Yeah, good point. A good point on social media too. I think it gives us a little bit more of control and exposure, and you can get, a following and the
Hmm.
brands to pay attention to you. So that's great. And
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. On gravel now, you have a lot of the privateers that are not even part of a team. They have different brands supporting them, or even people like me. Getting brand support just for the lifestyle.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But you stepped away from racing at the peak of your career. What led that decision?
Well, it was not completely my peak. I think in 2017 I won the overall World Cup classification. I had a really good year, and from then in 2018 I expected, okay, now I can improve even more. And I was on the podium for quite a few national championships, but never on a world championship. So I still had my goals, becoming world champion, national champion. But I um, in that the pursuit of these goals, I don't know. I just lost all my happiness, and I got in a mental, well, quite a difficult place mentally. This also, this also was because I had an injury on my a back injury, because we mountain our bike on I mounted my bike on the right side, and well, so basically, for a few months a year, you have a lot of pressure on your right side of the body. So this sorry, this gave me some imbalance in my back. So this caused the injury, and I don't know. I just could not solve this problem. So it became mentally very difficult for me to, yeah, to enjoy riding and to enjoy racing. And what I noticed in 2020, 21, 22, that yeah, my results also got a little bit less and less and less. So from
Mm.
racing at the top three, it went to top five, to top 10, top 15. So then I basically decided at one moment, okay, I'm going to stop now because I'm not happy anymore. And I always kept the door open for a little bit. I thought, okay, maybe when I can solve this problem with my back, when I'm feeling mentally happy again, when I'm enjoying racing and riding again, or at least riding my bike, maybe I can get back into cycling again. But then I got pregnant, I became a mom, and then, yeah, life also changes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, I mean, I don't know what to say. I was never a pro, but I think if you're not enjoying and not having fun and you have the capability, the power to take a break, I think it's important. No one should go through something that they're not enjoying and compromise their mental health. But like I said, life also changed. You became a mother. And how has been this transition from pro cyclist to motherhood?
Yeah, it's a really big change. There are so many things. Basically, everything changes, and well, I have to say, I'm very happy now. I'm in a very good place now. I really enjoy being a mother. And when Maxine, my daughter, when she was born, it's almost 2 years ago, I got back on the bike quite fast because I really missed riding and racing, and I started doing some gravel races. And then even last year, I was offered a contract again to start racing professionally. So for a few
Cyclocross?
months, no, gravel.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
so with the whole upcoming World of Gravel, there was this new team. They offered me a gravel contract. However, yeah, this also ended because we got in a conflict. And well, I'm not going to talk too much about it, but also the team doesn't exist anymore. And well, it was a shame because I thought, okay, it would be really nice now as a mom, newly mom, I can do some gravel racing again, which I really like. But well, it didn't happen. And last year I had a really fun year doing also some other activities, and I had a good look at what I want to do also with my life and my career. And so I'm in a happy place now, and I'm still for this year I'm still going to do a few gravel events again.
I'm curious to know more because um, during this transition before motherhood, you were already exploring gravel because that's how we met.
Yep.
And so now you're coming back. You're going to do some racing.
Yep. Yeah,
Eh,
I'm going to do, well, the plan. The plan was to do the Grand Ganache. I think it's pronounced Audax or something
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
the Audax. Yeah.
It's the gravel event. It's the end of March, and last year I did the Basayaun. It's a similar event. It's
Yeah.
an ultra gravel event, so it's about 800 kilometers and about 16 to 70,000 meters in altitude. And then, yeah, you have around 4 days, 5 days to finish it. But now and I did not tell anybody yet, but I just registered also for two UCI, the gravel series, the World Series in the
Okay.
Netherlands. Well, no, the first one is in Belgium. It's in like 7 weeks. And the other one is in the Netherlands, Valkenburg. It's in May. And then I also want to do another ultra race in Mallorca. It's called
Nice.
Hermes 53, if I'm correct. And so for now, I have 4 events planned. But I'm feeling a lot of inspiration to be back on the bike, to improve my level. My level is very low at this point, but I have to say I do not really care. I just love the process of becoming better. I put the time in where I can. I'm doing my efforts. I'm doing some VO2 max training, some intervals, and trying to get that to improve my power and my what is it, FTP, but not a lot of pressure. I'm just enjoying the process. I'm going to race in my age group. This is a bit new to me. I always thought, oh, I'm never going to race in an age group. I will always race with elite women. But for now, I totally accept that this is the point where I'm at now, and I hopefully I can climb my way up again to better level.
I'm sure you will. You have such a positive and growth mindset. I can see you glowing, I can see how happy you are to go just to get back on the scene, and you
Yeah.
climb up your, that ladder and your level of strength again. It's in
Mm.
you. It's going to come back.
Yeah, and I have to say, it's also, I just started my coaching business, and I have to say, it's also a very interesting experience to start from, kind of zero and to get back in shape. I also find it interesting to see, okay, what am I experiencing now? How can I deal with this? It's also a very nice learning experience, where I can help other athletes with as well.
Yeah, I think as a coach, as I'm also a coach, nutrition, um, and balance alignment coach, like setting goals, life transitions, things like that. And I feel like I learn so much from every person I work with. It's an amazing experience. I'm very curious to see what you come up with. What type of coaching are you going to be doing? Is that cycling?
A little bit of both. So last year I started in and I just started with people in my area, people I know, and I told them, "Hey, I want to coach, and if you want to work with me, please reach out." And this happened all quite naturally. And I did some what is it? A traject? Like how do you call it when you few sessions? I did a few sessions with different
Okay.
people, and yeah,
Hmm.
and this was all I would say life coaching, a bit of a career coaching, and basically I saw uh, what I saw with a lot of women I worked with is that a lot of ambitious women with very nice big goals, that it's difficult to get into their lean into their intuition, to trust, to really embrace like a softer part of yourself, where we can feel as a woman feel things naturally, where we can lean on our intuition, where we can trust ourselves. Because I know I've always been working in quite a masculine work field, so
Yeah.
sometimes it's really difficult to embrace more of that femininity. And it was really cool also to help these women with letting them trusting more on their intuition, their feelings, their gut feeling, and so that's how I started. What I'm going to offer now is a little bit of this, like live coaching, high performance coaching. But I'm also going to, because I would also love to work with athletes again and people who are also into racing. So I'm going to offer them also mental coaching, but also just the training part as well. So it's a mix of few things.
I think it's wonderful. And I think it's holistic, right? Being an athlete,
Yeah.
it can't just be one-sided. It's a whole picture. And I think you'll be amazing because you have the experience, you've been through it. And I mean, I don't know you super well, but a little bit that you share on Instagram, I mean, you have so much insight and positivity in life. And you've been through so many changes, not just the cycling, but
Hmm.
finding out you're going to be a mother suddenly and completely adapting to that and
Yes. And
happily. And
yeah, and well, the word you've been using holistically, I really like that. When I was trained during my career, I it was what I missed in my coaches, in my trainers, was that it was always very science based, like, okay, everybody is doing this, you have to do that. And well, when I'm going to work with athletes, it's also science based, but also with a very huge part will be personal, very personally, to see, okay, how's this person. And even with the science, a lot of the science in the physio
physiology.
I'm
I
sorry.
can say it either now.
A lot of the science is has been done with male
Man.
men, with male athletes. And well, my approach is more, okay, one of my vision of one of my main points what I use is, like, if you for to become a professional athlete or to have your success, you have to be resilient, and resilience requires happiness. It's really important to that your foundation is some kind of happiness, of appreciation for who you are, where you at in life, what kind of athlete or person you are. And from that's the foundation from where you're going to build brick by brick by brick, with a mindset of, okay, I'm going to show up today, that's what's most important, I'm going to do my best, and it's okay. And one of the things that I struggled with a lot is really the fear of failure. And I'm putting the bar this high that it was almost impossible to succeed. And I always thought, oh, and that's also the mindset I'm coming from and how I've been raised also, that if you put the bar too low, that's not exciting, and that it's kind of weak. You have to put it really really high and tell people. And now I'm learning, oh my god, no, just put it low, just going, and then reach it, and then you put it a little bit higher, you go and then reach it, and then brick by brick by brick, day by
Yeah,
day.
it has to be achievable. And I think you have a very nice idea and recipe because I think it's a niche that it's missing in the market. It's like I said,
Yeah.
it's a lot of science based, and science has been very patriarchal. I think now there are some studies coming out on women physiology, and I think it will get better for us women, but we're still not there in so many levels.
No, no, and I love that there are more studies now are also on women. And one of the things, for instance, I'm learning now is that when I was training, even with eating and with food and with getting enough food in during training, this was always a little bit also like weak. You don't eat too much during training. It's very cool if you go out, you do your 4 hour ride and you have like 2 bars and that's it. And now I'm learning the importance of really fueling all the work that you are doing. But also for women, I think it's better that we don't go training on an empty stomach, also not in the morning. And where I come from, it was always like you do 1 to 2, maybe 3 trainings during the week in the very early in the morning on an empty stomach. But now they are also well, seeing results that for women, for their hormones and everything, it's better not to sport, to not do an activity on an empty stomach. Just eat and take care of yourself. So yeah, I'm really happy these things are changing. It's also, even now, while I'm building again and working on myself, I'm really happy that I'm open for new approaches and also a new way of seeing the sport, because even such a simple thing as eating during training, it really makes my training much more fun, because in the last hour I still feel good and my recovery is much better. And this might sound very simple and maybe a little bit stupid, but it's a huge game changer for me.
Yeah, no, it's not silly or stupid. It's important. We have to feel our bodies, and there,
Yep.
I am very cautious um, talking about exercising at empty stomach or fasting. There is a lot of that thrown out there out of context, and it's different from men and for women how we do those things, and it can be actually even dangerous if you do it repeatedly as
Mhm.
a woman. um, but anyways, we could go on forever on
Yeah.
this.
It's really, well, I love seeing it, that it is changing. It's changing in a good way, I think. Yeah, it's I'm happy. I'm happy to see these changes.
Likewise, yeah, not just in nutrition, but I think also in sports and cycling, there has been more happening for equality and visibility for women, as we just talked about. And do you see that? What's your experience in that now that you are also a TV presenter? And how does
Hmm.
that came out, anyways, that you are doing this now?
Um, so, well, to answer your first question, well, one of the things is that I think it was about 2 years ago. I was invited. Then it was the first time the women's, the Tour de France, the Tour de Femme, was broadcasted live on television. And then during the Tour de France, there are always these programs, talking programs on the television. And now I was invited for a program which was about Tour de Femme. So this was really nice that the television thought, okay, we, for the men, we organize a program to do the after talking and everything. We're going to do it as well for the women. So I really appreciated that. It was really fun to be part of it. So yeah, this is, well, an example of the changes. And what was the second question you asked?
Yeah, like since you are behind the scenes now, working as a TV presenter
Ah,
in and out
yeah.
full time, how do you see this has grown the broadcasting of women?
Um, well, I think that there is much more time for the television, on the television, that not even the race, but now also the programs around it. Even for women, it is improving that we now have much more television time. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, yeah, and I love it. And my husband also watches. I don't get when people say like it's not interesting or why are they broadcasting women. There's still a little bit of the mentality that needs to change because it's super interesting. I mean, Tour de Femme last year, it was
Hmm.
insane,
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah. Oh, and also even within cyclocross, I think the women races are always very spectacular. These
Oh,
girls,
I love
sorry,
it.
women.
I love cyclocross is my favorite to watch.
Yeah, and I think these so one of my main frustration always was when people would say, "Oh, the girls," and then I was like, "We are grown, we are adult women," and now I wanted to say the girls. No, so I'm going to say the women. No, in cyclocross, they are all very the level of they are very close to each other, which makes it very fun to watch. And yeah, I think you can also see that the level of is it's improved, but it's also broadened. Is that how you say it? Like
Yeah.
there are the top 30 riders are all very capable riders, also a mix of athletes who also do a lot of road racing, who are also very good at road racing. And back in when I was racing, it was more of a top 10, top 15 girls. And then the other girls, they would be working part-time, or they had to find a job besides cycling. So yeah, this is also a big change.
Yeah. So now everyone, I guess they have more support so they can be fully dedicated and the field is really strong.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah. And Sophie, what's next for you? We talked about coaching, TV presenting, gravel racing. You have a 2-year-old at home. I think you also run an Airbnb, which is so adorable.
Yep.
So you're very busy.
Um, so what's next? Well, for the upcoming months, I'm really hoping to start working with around 10 to 15 athletes or non-athletes to coach them. That's my goal for my coaching business. I really want to launch the podcast. I have in mind an idea for a very long time to get a podcast the inside out. This is all going to be about how well happiness is an inside job, and it's well what I already said, to be resilient. You have to be happy, and I really want to teach people a lot of things that I've been learning. So that's on my calendar for this year. Well, obviously the races, the gravel races, are on my mind, and then I have a wish also to expand our family a little bit.
Wow.
Yeah, and well, it is something I'm really excited about. I would love to have another baby. I'm also um, it is also well, if you're an athlete, I think for female athletes, they probably can relate that it's quite a process where you go through with your body. So but then yeah, that's also what makes me sometimes like a little bit anxious as well. But on the other hand, the wish to have a little brother or sister for Maxime, it's so big. So I would love that to happen if it well, if it's given to us, of course. So these are the things that are on my mind for my future.
A lot of big projects.
Yeah.
Um, I am very excited for everything that it's coming. Can't wait to listen to the podcast. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of good insights there.
Yes.
And
Yes.
hopefully, I see you in one of those races.
Am I going to see you?
I'm not racing as much. I'm doing more like lifestyle, bike packing. I do have one big race this year, but I'm not. I guess when I started, I always want to. I say I'm not going to be racing, but then when I'm racing, I'm racing. But anyway, it's an ultra. It's in Portugal. It's called Gravel Birds. It's 750
Oh.
kilometers, all gravel. I think it's about 8,000 meters climb.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I'm doing as a pair with Juliet Elliott, that was also at in Kenya with us.
Hmm.
So yeah, we just want to have a good time.
Yeah. Oh, that's really nice. I also have the bikepacking trail Torino Nice.
Yeah,
It's on my wish list. I really want to do it
nice.
this year, but well, with a family, it's a little bit more difficult to, well, incorporate all these adventure plans. But yeah, I love it. I hope I can also do that. This yeah, challenge this
Yeah,
year.
I hope so too. It's so nice. Yeah, I'm hoping to get more bike packing
Yeah.
trips
Oh,
in
I
my
love it.
calendar, even if it's just for the weekend, because like you with the family, it's a challenge, but I'm just trying, like, okay, let's, like you said, brick by brick. So if we cannot do 4 or 5 days, let's just go for the weekend
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah,
or all day cycling, just
yeah.
do something.
Yeah, yeah, do something adventurous. And then I mean, exactly what you say. Just sometimes one day out on a bike, it's so very different from all the other days, the working days. So then you feel completely different after one day, and it's a very nice way to get some adventure into your life on an easy in an easy
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. It feeds our purpose, our mind, our health. At least for me, I just need that time. Otherwise, start to get a little bit uneasy.
Yeah, yeah, same for me. Same for me.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time from your super busy calendar. Again, wish you all the best on the 2025 season in life and in cycling. And hopefully, I get to see you in one of those trips.
Thanks. It was an honor to be on your podcast. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, Sophie. And that's all for today's episode. I want to thank the listeners for tuning in. Your support means everything. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider following, leaving a review, and sharing it with your friends.